Welcome you guys back into my nice beautiful video. You have to understand that every single day I'm focusing upon making sure that you're understanding every single day that you're growing. So what I do every single day is focusing upon your life and your mindset and your spirituality and making sure that what you want today is to achieve much more success, because that's why you're in the video. So every single day focus upon understanding that today is a beautiful day for me, because I've been traveling around Newcastle and I invest in myself to get the nice beautiful tour bus to go all over Newcastle, and also I went to have a swim. And then you have to understand, every single day I'm walking around Newcastle today, but what's amazing is the experience. And now the experience is something that I teach you. And now every single day I focus upon understanding that if you want to succeed in life, you must be able to go and understand that whatever you want to achieve, you can do it daily, as long as you understand that you have to travel around. You have to be able to travel around first. You have to be able to understand that when you're doing your work, you have to be sitting down. I mean, they're saying, because at 100 years of age, do you want to be doing public speaking at 100 years of age in terms of standing up for 2 hours? I mean, at 100 years of age. I mean, how about 200 years of age? I mean, do you want to be doing that at 500? I mean, do you want to be doing it at 500 years of age? I mean, they're saying because what happens over time is your body becomes more physically weaker throughout time. So what I need you to understand every single day is focus upon understanding that you go back inside for your life, and then go give people the experiences of your life so that you can go and be much better for yourself. So that's the whole point. So today I'm renting a nice beautiful apartment here at the nice beautiful Newcastle. And guess what? I was like, every single day you must focus upon understanding that there are 4 types of individuals. Now the first individual is somebody who's just living with their biological parents, who is never working a 9-to-5 job. Now these individuals are people who are millionaires. I mean, do you understand why? Because those are the teenagers and kids who, let's say, are dependent on somebody else for the plastic money, but it's never for the plastic money. But what the amazing thing is about this, you must understand, is they never have to work a 9-to-5 job, and they never have to be, let's say, middle class. I mean, you understand? Because middle class people work a 9-to-5 job. Now anybody who never works a 9-to-5 job is a millionaire. I mean, is that simple? Now you have to understand that if you have your own family, for example, you now are somebody, let's say, who works a 9-to-5 job also. You must understand you are middle class. But if you have a family right now, but you never work a 9-to-5 job, you are a millionaire. I mean, that's it. Or is that simple? Now, why is that? Because you can never make $1 million working a 9-to-5 job. I mean, guess what? You'll make $1 million faster when you communicate yourself into greatness. You must understand that either way. What's amazing is that the 9-to-5 job, if you're going there, you have to be lifting people. But understand, that's $1 million. I mean, you understand? That's more than $1 million when you're lifting people. But what's amazing is those people who never work a 9-to-5 job can work on their legacies. I realize your legacy, like, for example, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger and also Novak Djokovic, they have legacies. I mean, you understand? I mean, they do something. And now you must understand, I'm doing this for my legacy so that I can succeed much greater. And now the whole point is, you must understand that I try to do as much as I can every single day so that I can focus upon something much greater than myself. And what's that? I realize every single day I focus on something that's really, really helping me. I just make sure every single day you understand that I want to be doing the best I can. And now when I do the best I can, I make sure you have the best audio. I make sure you have the best quality audio. And I make sure every single day that you focus upon your life so that you can succeed. I promise you now, if you're not doing your legacy today, you are then helping other people's legacies to succeed. But what's amazing is today I went to the beach, and what happened at the beach is I went on the sand, and a nice beautiful ocean is hitting my legs and my nice beautiful body. And now inside of the ocean and inside of that nice beautiful space, I went into the grass, and then I went into the nice beautiful sand, for example. And I started to scratch the sand. I started to make all these nice beautiful patterns. I was making all these patterns, and guess what? You must understand, those patterns that I make are images. I mean, I make one pattern like this, but it's an image, and that's forever going to be in my memory. And now the more you create these nice beautiful images of your life, you're going to understand something. You're going to get happier. So what you do at the beach is try to be creative without a phone. And now, if you try to be creative without a phone, what happens is, you will understand something. You will understand that everything you ever make in this lifetime, you will bring it into you with eternity. you have what you want into eternity. So if you create a million images of your creations, you will always have that. I mean, guess what? I went to the sand and I started creating all these nice, beautiful creations. But then the water comes up and wipes it all away. I say, hey, I'm never even getting angry about that. I mean, do you understand when they make cards and they build this massive card range, but then you just touch it and it all falls over? I mean, that's the same thing as the nice, beautiful beach, that the waves come in and wipe all of my work away. And now, why is that? Because once I create it, or else it never matters anymore. I mean, understand? I mean, it never matters anymore. I mean, why is that? Because you have to create something new now. You can never stay with the old. Whereas now, if I go and, for example, I start, let's say, drawing something here at the walls, and I get a text and I start drawing, approaching sooner than later, you have to start painting that wall so that you can draw something else. Understand? Because understand either way, that is the way to go. I mean, you can never be looking at the same information all the time. Understand? So understand that is a nice, beautiful scenario that I learned today at the beach. I went to the beach, I started drawing everything on the sand. I started playing around with the sand. I started to try to create something with the sand. I dig in my nice, beautiful hands into the sand, and I look at the nice, beautiful architecture of the sand of my creation. I mean, when you put your hands into the sand like this, I mean, the sand will come out in a different type of way. You created that for yourself. You are creating that for yourself. And now the image of looking at that is something that you create. So this image is what I create today. Understand? So this is with me for eternity. But this image is the same image as the sand. I mean, we have equal images as everything. I mean, this cable is the same image as my image. Or else we're equal. I mean, everything's equal. Or else what's better than earphones? Or else there's nothing better than earphones in life. I mean, understand? I is everything though. I is everything. So this is an image. The same as your image. I understand? I mean, everything's equal value in images. I mean, the dog is the same equal value of a dog, or else of a dog's image is the same image of you. I mean, it's equal. I understand? I mean, you look different, but it's equal. You understand? I mean, you can never take images away. So what's amazing every single day is focus upon going to the sand every single day, and focus upon going and creating something in the dirt, and get sticks together, and start really just rampant. Just go rampant. Go rampant with creating something out of nothing on the street. I mean, get some rocks together and throw them on the side and see how it flows. I mean, throw some rocks and see how you actually create the rocks to go this way and that way and that way. I mean, go look as you, for example, throw the sand, and you'll see the sand go everywhere like this. I mean, it's your creation. I mean, if you throw the sand like this, I mean, it's going to be creative. I mean, your sand that you throw is going to be creative, and it's going to fly everywhere in a certain way. But if you keep repeating it a different way, or it's a different image altogether, but then you're creating that image for yourself. I mean, I have all these images now of me throwing the sand and how it looks. Understand? I mean, that's amazing memory that I make. So when I go on the beach, I start making a sand castle. I actually lay on the actual beach as the water's hitting my body. And or as now the water then goes backwards, and then I'm just doing something around the water. I'm doing something around the sand, and then the water comes again and hits me again. I mean, so that's where I lay on the beach. And then what I do is I get music, I pump up music, and I'm just creating all these images. I'll go this way and that way, and then I do like this, but then I look at that and it looks like a beautiful image. Understand? I mean, if I go on the sand like this, I mean, now I look at the image, and that is forever that's forever in my actual memory. Understand? So that's the beautiful aspect of being on the beach and just playing around with the sand, and just go and draw on the sand all the way for 100 meters, and then go and watch out. I mean, just go and watch everything that you actually drawn. I mean, go and walk through it. I mean, go and see the actual nice, beautiful gesture of memories you have about doing all that. I mean, if you draw 100 meters down the sand and you draw with your finger something, I mean, go and walk and see what you draw. You have created yourself a nice, beautiful image for a lifetime. So when I go into the sand, I realize the sand, I realize the nice, beautiful beach comes into my hands, and I have the sand, and I go like this, and I squeeze the sand out of my hand. And I have the image of me doing that. I create that. I create that. So I go and dig into this sand, and I'm doing something different with the sand all the time. So I'm being creative with the sand. In a sense, so I go draw something that I've never drawn on the sand before. I'm creating images. I mean, yes, I mean, I'm never even documenting that, but it's documenting in my mindset. I mean, it's documenting in my actual memory of me doing that. I have a beautiful memory of me drawing all these aspects of images at the Newcastle beach. I mean, in the sense that what I do is I stand up and I start doing it with my feet as well. I start doing it with my feet. I start getting the actual swimsuit, and I hit the swimsuit on the actual sand to see what kind of image I can make with the swimsuit. Understand? I start getting my shorts and my swimsuit, and I hit it together, and it makes a splat, or else it makes one sound. But then I see an image. Or else now what happens is I go into the ocean, and I put my swimsuit into the ocean, and then I go onto the sand, and I put the water on the sand, and it makes all these dots on the sand as well. So it's my creation. So of course, the ocean is going to wash it away, but that image is going to be in my life forever, that I made all these dots on the actual sand because of my water, in terms of the beach, in terms of what happens where you go into the beach and you place your water in terms of your clothing in the water, and then you never try to dry it off, but you go into the sand and you spray the water a bit on the sand, and then you create something from that. Understand? So that image is in your life forever. But I see many humans today, or as they go to the beach, and what they do, I mean, they start swimming, and then they see they're alone. I mean, they have nothing else to do but swim. I mean, they swim in the actual ocean, and then they just leave. But me, I'm the one who swims in the ocean, but then gets creative on the sand. I mean, there's a big difference. I mean, there's a big difference when you go to the beach to just sit in the water and to just watch a bit and then go. But then I do the same thing, but then I get on the sand as well while popping music. And I start to draw something. I start to create something on the sand. You understand? Because there's a big difference. You understand? I came there to have fun. And now, if you're creating something on the beach, I mean, go and paint something on the beach. And does it have to be the image that you see? Or actually, it never has to be the image that you see. You never have to paint something that you see. You can put green colors. You put green colors, and then put yellow colors, and then put red colors, and just do that. Or, I mean, do that for the whole image. You create some beautiful image for that. And then, I mean, that's 3 actual particles of patterns. You get a red painting, and then you get a red paint, and you just do this. And then underneath that, you get green, and then you get yellow, and then you go red again, and then you go green again, and then you go yellow, and then you do that for the whole aspect. But then, since it's all this way, you can choose to just let that be, or you can do something more creative, and you can go across as well, and you can go this way, but then it takes longer to do it. You understand? But it's your image, or is it your creation? But that's 3 particles. But then, if you want one idea upon how to create a painting, or if you want to create a painting, I mean, you can go circles, you can go rectangles, you can go triangles, you can go shapes, you can go hexagons, you can do spots. You understand? You can do spots if you want. You can get the painting, you can throw it at the actual painting, and just throw paint. I mean, you can just throw paint at the actual painting, and you create something. You create an image. You understand? I mean, that's creative, isn't it? So that's something that you need to do for yourself. I mean, understand, you get yourself a whiteboard. I mean, draw something you never drawn before. I mean, is that simple? I mean, try to draw something that you never drawn before. I mean, that's it. And just wipe it off and then try to draw something else, and then try to draw something else, and then try to draw something else, and then just wipe it off. But tape yourself doing it. I mean, record yourself doing it. I mean, just practice and just say, this is my image. I'll wipe it off now. I mean, draw something else. I mean, now, if I draw something on the whiteboard, I may go, put the 1, and then, that's my image there. I mean, what am I drawing? I mean, what am I really drawing there? I'm drawing that the number 1 over here is something to be remembered in terms of I. Whereas the number 1 here is something that amplifies my I. Whereas now I make a meaning about that. Whereas now I understand either way that I can draw better than that. Whereas now I want to actually go and focus upon something that's out of space. So let's say outer space drawing. I want to draw something that's in outer space. So when I draw that, I draw something spiritual. So I realize, so I just go and I draw this nice beautiful wave pattern. I was like this, and then I'll just go, and then I want to create a nice beautiful circle right here that leads with a string into the oasis, and I just want to leave it like that. I just want to leave it like that, but it's something that helps me see something, or it helps me see that the galaxy here is something amazing. Or that's it. I mean, understand? I drew the galaxy. I mean, that's my galaxy. I mean, understand? Although it's something new. But then if I choose to choose, or else if I choose to, let's say, do something up, and I choose to, let's say, create something new, I'll go and create Canada, for example. I mean, Canada. I mean, what's my definition of Canada? I see a harmonica. I try to draw one harmonica, and then I try to draw a bird, and I try to draw a star. And what else? I mean, a little bit. I mean, that's my definition of Canada. I mean, understand? I mean, why? I mean, that's just the way I am. I mean, understand? So realize that either way, I drew something anyway. I drew something. I mean, the whole point is draw something. I mean, get one word from the dictionary. I mean, go draw something that describes the word I. Whereas now, when I go draw something that describes the word I say sun, or I put a sunset, and I draw a sunset. I mean, understand? I mean, that's it. I mean, that's creative. But then you wipe it off, and then you start again and draw something else. But keep drawing, and you get better and better and better. I mean, the more you draw, the more you get better. So that's something that you can do. So focus upon understanding that when you see sticks, I mean, create something with those sticks. I mean, get all the sticks. I mean, throw them on the sand. I mean, throw them on the sand and go and see what it's going to make for you. I mean, go and place it together and try to make something of it. I mean, try to play around with it. I mean, try to make some new images with that. I mean, try to be creative with that. Understand? Because what happens here is you learn something. You gain happiness. You gain playful nature, that you're playing with something. Understand? I realize when you're playing with the sand all day long, I mean, you're just drawing on the sand all day long, you're going to be happy. I promise you. When you're just drawing all day long, you're just going to be happy. I mean, just draw all day long. I mean, if I'm doing this life coaching video all day long, I'm happier. I mean that drawing is, or is it's going into my video now. Or is it, that sand is going into my video now. Or is it, everything's going to my video. So I'm always painting, I'm always drawing, I'm always doing everything. So just because somebody draws actual paintings, never means that I never draw them. I draw paintings in this video as well. I'm drawing a painting of my life over here. I'm drawing a painting of my words as well. I'm teaching you something. I mean, in a sense, you have to be passionate about something. You have to be creating something. I'm creating this. I'm teaching you something. So when somebody gives you an image, you appreciate it. And then go and add to that image. Or so when they show you an image, you say, this is what I want on your image. I mean, guess what? Or I have a circle in my image, but you come into my image and you put a cross like this. You put something else into it. And then I say, hey, but since you've done that, I mean, let me go and place another nice, beautiful way of pattern like that. I mean, what is your next move into the drawing? Whereas now, what we're doing here is conversing through images. So if I draw a circle, you have to draw something inside of my image. I mean, now you're going to draw something, and let's just say you draw some chicken pox in the circle. Alright, now it looks like a moon. Understand? Because now I have to look at something and I'll draw some stars. I'll draw some stars, and then what are you going to draw now? Alright, now you may draw the words Star Wars. You may say Star Wars. Alright, now either way, it's my turn. And then what I do is I go and I make something like a cloud. I put a cloud. Alright, now either way, that shows me that there's something inside of me that is never even good in the first place. I mean, why is that? But I understand either way that I see a cloud. I see a cloud here. I mean, I see a cloud of what? I see a cloud of something that can help me. Whereas now, why is a cloud in a galaxy? I mean, I don't know. But I understand either way, I'm just drawing something random. Whereas now, either way, I'm just really picturing something now. I'm picturing that I need to draw better. I need to draw something better. So either way, I was like, what corresponds into the galaxy today? I was now, I'll draw an alien instead. I mean, you understand? So that's how you can actually find out what's inside of you. I mean, why do I draw a cloud for in the galaxy? I mean, you understand? I was now, either way, you must understand that it's a game. I mean, you understand your partner this way, you understand other people, but then you get more people together. You get 10 people together, or 50 or 60, and let's draw something together. I mean, we have one paper, I'll draw a circle, but by the time 100 people draw something on that, I have to add to it. I realize now, but I drew the circle, but it turns out something totally different. By the time everybody adds their take into it, and then I come as the 101st painter again, and I see, wow, I see this pattern over here, I see all this, but then I want to add nice beautiful antennas over here. Whereas now, your turn, or either way, we're going to take turns to draw something together. But guess what? We draw something extraordinary with those ideas, I promise you. Now, you can do that in your schools. You can put that in your education class. You understand? You draw together. Whereas now, for example, when you have another game here, or as when I start off the sentence with, I love Casey, you then have to go and write something to continue that sentence. Or as now, either way, you're going to say, because I am, or as now it's my turn, I am somebody who loves I. You're going to then say, then something to continue that sentence, and then we continue each other's sentences. And then we're going to create something that way, together. I mean, understand? Or else we'll create a book together like this. Because it's something meaningful that we've done together. Or else when you wrote half the book and I wrote half the book together, you must understand, that way it's meaningful. So what I do is I write the first chapter, you write the second chapter. I write the first half of the book, you write the second half of the book. Understand? I draw the first half of the piece, you draw the second half. I draw the first half, you guys draw the other half. I mean, now, why is that? I mean, why? I mean, guess what? Or else now, you must understand, I draw something, you draw the other half. I mean, you must understand that either way, we all draw equally. I mean, understand? You guys draw equally together. I mean, why does one individual have to have half the piece, but the other hundreds have to have the small bits and pieces? Whereas now, there's a teaching in this. You must understand that I, anyway, am equal with everybody. I'm equal with everybody, but I'm learning something along the process, even myself, about a drawing right here. You understand? Whereas now, it looks as though that one individual here is taking up most of the space, while the other ones are looking smaller. You understand? So either way, you must understand that it's something that opens my mind into seeing a better picture here. So when I'm drawing something, or is that now it's more, and I realize it's more likely that you are going to improve your talents upon drawing with yourself and others as well. So for example, now, when you throw the frisbee, I mean, make sure that you throw it in a certain way, and then understand to let them throw it. And then let other people throw it. I understand? But that's as far as it goes with the frisbee. And now, you have to understand that what's amazing is try to throw it differently, other than the same way. And then try to do something different. I mean, try to grab the woman or man on your shoulder and then throw it. I mean, try to do something that you've never done. I mean, try to throw it off the floor. I mean, try to throw it while you're doing a handstand. I mean, try to really see different scenarios of how is it going to feel about doing that. You understand? So that's the creative part. You have to be creative about that. In a sense, so you can turn anything into a playful matter. Or that's playful, isn't it? Where 100 people are throwing the frisbee in a different way. I mean, that's playful. I mean, that's a community of, that's a community of people that are growing. So when you're going and playing lone balls, I mean, throw in a different way that somebody else has never done. I mean, you understand? But make sure you understand that it's more, never a competition about who's the best, or else it's more that we are all the best. But we're just throwing it in a way that we want to see something different from the whole piece. Whereas now you're going to throw the lone ball long, I'll throw it short. Understand? I mean, why do you want to throw it short? I mean, you throw it long only. Understand? But then what happens is you get to understand the people around you and how they're living life. Because if you throw it short, then guess what? You have to throw it long. You never throw it short. You have to be much more worthy for yourself. Whereas now, understand every single day. Focus on understanding that I'm still learning, I'm still growing. But what's amazing every single day is understanding that there's a creative part of you today. And you have to understand that it's communicational words, or it's paintings, or it's sand work, or it's dirt work, or it's going on the grass and doing some fitness that you've never done before, and trying something new that you've never done before, so that you can go and imagine something that you've never done before. Whereas now, you must understand, I came into this nice beautiful accommodation here, and I'm an orchestration. I placed all my nice beautiful stuff on the floor. I went naked in my room. I went nude, totally, and I lay on the bed nude. I mean, no clothes on me. I mean, everything. I mean, my genitals can be seen and everything in the room, but I'm alone. But that's what I do all the time. I come into my nice beautiful one-bedroom apartment, and from now on, I always get nude inside of my apartments when I'm alone. I mean, it just feels nice to be nude. You understand? I promise you, either way, guess what? I start to plan something while I'm nude. I start to upload photos. I start to do something. But guess what? I have clothes on now. You understand? I promise you, although, understand that you must go and really see, for example, my muscle. I mean, why do I have to tense it like that? I mean, let's try to tense it in a different way. I mean, let me see other muscle parts that are going to work, for example. So, I mean, what other muscles can I muster up in this? I mean, you see, so I'm always trying something new to see how is my muscle actually working. You understand? So go and really learn something new that you've never done before, and then just dig into it. I mean, you have to understand that when I'm always younger throughout time, but when I was, let's say, 12 years of age and 8 years of age, I was playing with toys. And what I do with the toys is I go and land all these army toys on the floor, and these toys are everywhere on the floor. I mean, they're everywhere on the floor. And why is that? Because I orchestrate something over here. I place the army over there because this bear is going to come there. Understand? Understand? And then I put the Power Rangers over here because they're going to come in once the army dies. You understand? And now, why does the army die? Because I've been taught that if you go to the army, that is what happens. You understand? Russia will like, guess what? Russia, that's honest. You understand? So when you're playing toys, or is that your kids or you can do it. But then go and really play some toys today. I mean, play again toys. And go get yourself some toys. And then put them on the floor and orchestrate where does certain toys go on the floor. And why? I mean, why is it going there? Whereas now, if you put Thomas the Tank Engine in the middle, but then you put the army on the left, and then you put the sun on the corner. I mean, what's this painting already? I mean, it's painting that there's a sun in the corner, but why? Whereas now, you have to understand that we're going to paint a better picture here. So then I'll go and put a pink Power Ranger in the other corner. Whereas now this is painting a bigger picture, isn't it? Whereas now I'll put a dinosaur on the right side. Whereas now there's a war going on. And there's a war going on. You can see it. I mean, there's a sun, but there's army and a dinosaur over here. So I have to place something else over here. I have to put something on the actual diagonal side of the left top corner, and I'll put, let's say, David Beckham, for example, and his figure there. And then what's happening here? Whereas now here, I see something of support and something that's supporting me in life. But then I'll put, let's say, a crowd here. Whereas now a crowd is showing me that we're going to fight off the beast. I mean, we're going to fight off the beast. I mean, we're going to win the war. Understand? And now, guess what? Whereas now, when people win the war, I mean, what happens? Or is that this kind of world, or approaching this kind of world, you must understand that with those nice, beautiful toys that I put on the floor, or is that I'm just creating it right now. But understand that what's amazing is it means that we're going to defeat the dinosaur. You understand? Because the dinosaur wants to eat us. You understand? Because I'd rather live than have the dinosaur killed. I mean, do you understand? First now, that's the way I do life. First now, I'm learning something here. But if you understand that a lion comes up to you today and wants to eat you, I mean, what do? I mean, do you fight it? Or do you let it eat you alive? I understand that I go and really fight it. I fight it off. I want to live life. You understand? I want to live life. Now, what does Jesus Christ do over here? Jesus Christ says over here that if you shall do that, you must understand that you then rob yourself. You then rob yourself of something, because Jesus Christ understands that Jesus Christ never wants to hurt anything in this lifetime. Understand? So what happens here is just understand that I fell in a way that I understand that I never want to die. I was so scared, you understand? So Jesus Christ, I relate everything with Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ says, just never get yourself in that situation in the first place. You understand? I mean, be smarter than that. I mean, always allow the lion to eat you. I mean, now, if you do that, you're then never afraid of the lion in the first place. But if you fight back, and you're violent back, and if you cause violence, you then are afraid. Whereas if you get bitten, and then you bite other people, you deserve it. I mean, you understand? Whereas now, if somebody tries to kill you, and then you try to kill somebody else, I mean, what that individual tries to do to you, I'm pretty sure you deserve it then. I'm pretty sure that if I try to kill you, I'm pretty sure I never try to kill you. I'm pretty sure that if somebody tries to kill you, then you try to kill them, you then deserve it. You deserve what you're doing. You deserve what has been given to you. Now, if somebody tries to kill you, but you never try, or else you never want to kill them, you shall live long. You shall live on. You understand? So focus upon understanding that. Now, since that crowd is there, or is that what's happening over here now? I have to place something new, but I'll put a panda. I'll put a panda into the equation. Now, this is showing me that now I must go and I must be much more appropriate with what I'm doing. But it's a structure, isn't it? The more toys you put on the floor for a certain reason, you're going to strategize why is that toy going at a certain advantage to this other toy, and why is a dinosaur in the actual middle, and why is that there? Because you're going to find out about your story and how you actually do life. I mean, you're going to understand that before you even get there, you're going to grab certain toys because there's certain interests about you. You understand? And then you're going to place all these toys on the floor, and then you're going to orchestrate your life. I mean, that's it. But then guess what? You have those toys forever. You always have these toys. And it's like a chess puzzle. It's like a puzzle. You're playing a puzzle with yourself. I mean, it's like chess with yourself. But what you're doing is you're going to orchestrate a new idea all the time. You're going to get new toys. You're going to use the same toys, but you're going to orchestrate it in a different way. Understand? Whereas like from now on, you must understand that with the dinosaur, I started off with the panda, for example. Whereas now here, I can see that there's a fight going on. Understand? So what do? I mean, with the toys I have to pull off a victory over here. I have to pull off a victory. I get the helicopter. I get the helicopter. I'll put it right next to a panda. I'll put it right next to a panda. I'm victorious already. You understand? I'm helping the panda. You understand? Russian, that's it. Russian, that's the nice, beautiful way of intellect. I mean, isn't it? I mean, that's a beautiful way. So let's start all over again with toys. Alright, now I'll put Jennifer Lopez in the middle. Alright, now when I do that, Russian, now I want to be making sure that over here I can go and really love her. So when I love her, I'll put a rose next to her. Alright, now either way, Russian, that's a victory. So I remove Jennifer Lopez from the actual scenario now. I remove the rose. I made a victory. So what else do I want to do? I'll go get some toys from Toys for Us. I'll go get some toys somewhere. I'll go to Big W. I'll go to Kmart. Or I'll find myself placing a nice, beautiful Star Wars calendar in the middle. Whereas now, because there's a Star Wars calendar in the middle, I want to make sure that here I can do something very much more appropriate where I can go and add to it. I mean, now since I add to it, I add some mountains to it. I add some mountains, and now this is adding value. I mean, what else do I want? I'll put a moon over here. I'll put a moon. I mean, what else do I want over here? I will go and really realize now that since I'm putting these actions over here, actually that's a victory, because that's agreeing with the actual Star Wars. You understand? So you move on now. I mean, let's go and find a new chess play. Actually now, when I put the king of the chess inside the middle, actually now this means I'm king. I have victory already. I'm victorious. I never put a coin there. I never put a queen there. I put a king. You understand? Alright, now you must understand that's a victory. You understand? So either way, approach now with poker cards. Approach now, if you put a card, I mean, what card do you want to put in the middle? I put a nice, beautiful Jack of Clubs. I put the Jack of Clubs there. And now why? Because it means that I'm the Jack of Clubs. I mean, do you understand? Alright, now to be victorious here, Russia, what do I have to do? I just keep the Jack of Clubs. I never tried to dominate that card. Russia, you have to understand that now I'm victorious. Because if you try to dominate your own card, you then what? You lose. You never lose. You have to understand it's really, you never try to go anything more than what you are. But guess what? You have to. You have to. And now, since I understand that now, whereas now I have to go and see that Jack of Clubs, I have to turn it into something new now. I mean, why is that? Because I want to be something more than the Jack of Clubs. I mean, you see? I mean, that was the limit. Right there. So what do I want to do over here? I want to put the next card over here. I mean, what's the next big meaning in my life in terms of a card? I put the Ace of Clubs. I mean, now what do I do? I have to change a card. I have to put something different here. Or actually now I'll put a Two of Spades. I mean, what else do you want to put here? I'll put a Three of Clubs. I mean, guess what? You get the point? I'm changing the cards around. I'm never labeling myself a card here. Understand? I'm much better than a Jack of Clubs, because now I have a Three of Spades, I have a Two of Diamonds, I have Five of Clubs inside of it as well. Understand? Whereas now either way, I'm adding to it. I'm adding to my life, and now what's that picture telling me right now? Or is it's a domino effect? Understand? And now it's something that's new. I mean, something that's going into a new story. So that's good, and that's a victory. Whereas now, when I put a nice beautiful shopping bag in the middle, I mean, how do I really understand that now since I have a shopping bag inside of that middle, I mean, how do I really help myself over here? I have to understand that now I need to help myself over here. I'll put a trolley there. Put a trolley. Understand? Whereas now it's a victory. I never have to carry the shopping bag anymore. Whereas now, when I go into my nice beautiful bag of toys over here, let's put another toy over here. Whereas now, I'll put a toy over here. I'll go and place what? I mean, what else do I want to put? I'll put some army in the middle. Put army in the middle. I mean, what else do you want to do now? Whereas that this tells me that there's safety net. Whereas there's a safety net here. Whereas there's rescue mission going on. Whereas it means I have some allies. I have some people who are helping me right now. I have some people who are sharing me around. I realize that's what the armies are telling me. You understand? I have people on my side. You understand? Now, what do I do with these people? Now, I have to go and make sure that they have what they need. I put some real estate around them. I mean, what else can I add to the picture? I put some nice, beautiful what? Now, if you put a helicopter, I mean, what does a helicopter suggest over here? I mean, it means that you may go to war. I mean, it means that you may go to war with the actual army over here. You understand? I mean, why do you need a helicopter in that picture? Understand? So get rid of the helicopter. So anyway, I mean, strategize. I mean, what else can you add into the picture of army and real estate over here? I mean, let's go and place what else? Or if you put woman there, I mean, that says something that you dislike woman. And why do you want to put woman in the picture of army? I mean, is it? I mean, what for? Understand? So realize we never need woman there. Whereas now what we need is service. So when I put a nice beautiful service sign saying service over here, whereas that now it shows me a path, or else it shows me a word, for example, or else it shows me some clues. So what else do we want to add over here? Whereas now we want to add some service around here. And now since we add some service, I mean, what are some ideas in pictures that we can add into the service of this army and the real estates? Whereas now that's all you can do. Understand? I mean, that's it. Understand? I mean, the service will give you all the range of scenarios and images about what we can help the army with today. You understand? That's it. You can just write service. And now, either way, that's my little game of toys, for example. Whereas that's how I play my toys. And now, you must understand that now, since you understand how to play your own, or since you understand how to play your own toys, you have to strategize about this. And so, when I go and really check out in the next toy module, whereas that now, I'll just go add Megan Fox in the middle. Whereas now, since Megan Fox is in the middle, I see love over here, I'll put something different now. I did place a rose before. Same with Jennifer Lopez, so I have to place something new now. Because we're playing something different, and that's a victory. So with Megan Fox, I want to place Transformers. And now, since I placed Transformers here, that's a win, because she goes in the Transformers film. You understand? I mean, that's where I recognize her. You understand? So either way, you must understand that's the story of the toys. But that's how you play your toys. You play toys on the ground, and then strategize with your son and kids about how they play these toys. You understand? So that's what you need to do daily, and that's just a life perspective. You understand? I mean, that's just something playful that you can do. Unfortunately, now, if you understand that you get a towel, for example, you go get some towel, I mean, go get some ink from actual Office Works or somewhere, you get some ink, and just go rebel on the actual towel and make some nice beautiful patterns with ink on the actual towel. I mean, get a white towel, I mean, get a black towel, I mean, go get some ink. I mean, go get some liquid paper and put it on a black towel and start drawing something. And start making something. You understand? I mean, that's creative, but you have an image. You're just playing around. Understand? You're just sparking attention. You're sparking something. You're sparking attention. You're sparking something new. You're just making sure every single day you're growing. I mean, get yourself a shopping bag or your car and put a text on it and start drawing something. And then get some paintings and throw in the car. Understand? I mean, throw in the car. And then how do you feel about that? I mean, how do you feel about me throwing paintings at your car? Does it make you angry? Because it never has to make you angry. I mean, it has to make you playful. I mean, it's creative. You understand? So when I go into your house and I start spraying your house with trees, I mean, how do you feel? You feel amazing, don't you? I mean, why? Because it's trees. You're spraying people with trees. I mean, that's a blessing. I mean, that's rich. But if I come into your house and let's say I start to poison your dog with Jesus Christ, I mean, what do you believe about that? You have to understand that it's good, isn't it? I mean, what picture do you have here? You have a blessing picture. So when I come into the crowd and I come into your family as well, and then I start giving you racing cars, or is that what? I mean, what does this mean? I mean, guess what? I'm giving you something, aren't I? I'm giving you racing cars. You know what I'm saying? When you find that attractive, you have to find that attractive. So when I come into your house and I say, hey, I need you to help me because I have a nice beautiful dinosaur that's going to help you move forward. You I mean, isn't that nice? I mean, that's beautiful, isn't it? I'm making sure they understand I'm helping you. So understand either way that when I go into your house again and I throw out the TV, but I give you the latest iPhone. I mean, I paint a picture here. You throw out the TV, you get yourself the latest iPhone, because that's going to understand the ideas already in your head now, what you must do. You understand? Because the iPhone travels the world. The plasma screen TV on your back, that's something different. You understand? Whereas now, understand either way. Go and really understand that that is how you coach people. So when I go around people, I go and really spray them with the most blissful intent of rain that goes into rainbows and that makes sure that they have sun. Whereas now I see a lot of, let's say, P. I see P, for example. Now that's something to do with what? Whereas now, why is there P in that? You must understand that I was somebody who was peeing on people. I mean, how is I peeing on people? You must understand it's more that I understand that it's something to do with my past. I was very much of a pervert, you understand? And now, how was I a pervert? You must understand it's really that I was somebody who never loved myself. I was never loving myself around people, and that's why the P shows up. I mean, the P is something that orchestrates the life I had before. You understand? So when I have that image now, I show you right now that I never want to put P on people. You understand? I want to put rainfall, and I want to put rainfall with rainbows. You understand? There's a big difference. And now, when you see a rainfall with rainbows, which is beautiful, isn't it? You understand? Whereas I want to put clouds there as well, but you can see a rainbow. You understand? Now that's beautiful, isn't it? So I'm creating a nice beautiful picture for myself. So when I go into the Ferrari, I want to have what? I want to make sure that there's the most beautiful woman in that Ferrari. That's just something that I've seen before. I want to make sure that she's there. I want her to have that. You understand? That's the way I am. So I've seen many other people do that, but I understand that's just the way I am also. I mean, when I go into the helicopter, I want to be making sure that I can go and free flow. I want to be free flowing from that helicopter. I want to be jumping out of the helicopter. I want to be looking at the world around me. I mean, that's what I feel. You understand? So when I understand that, or as I'm giving you ideas about how I am, so that you can go and be how you want to be, because that's my experience. Now, you must understand that when I go, for example, with your dog, I want to be making sure that this dog has the world. I mean, I want to make sure that this dog is happy. I want to make sure that this dog has everything. You understand? Now, when I see your wife, I want to make sure that she has a rose. You understand? And now when she has a rose, I mean in a way that she's really recollecting her memories in her life. And now when that happens, it's more that you must realize that it's I who is just giving a rose. You must understand. I understand how it looks like. I understand how it looks like with your woman, that I'm giving her a rose. You must understand, it's just a friend in nature, or a rose. I mean, it's nothing to have sex with her. You understand? Or she's just a rose. I mean, does your wife deserve a rose from me? Or should? Now, understand that. Or every single day, that if you start to get angry about that, you can see some romance going on between me and her. You can see that. But if Jesus comes to give a rose to your family, you understand? I mean, never get angry. You understand? But it's something that opens my heart as well. You understand? Because many people and many guys get jealous about that. I mean, I gave a rose to their girl. I mean, I gave a rose to their wife. And they get jealous about that. I mean, you understand? Or else they want to kill me. Because they believe that I'm about to take their woman. I never take their woman. You understand? But understand every single day, that is how most people are today. Or else most people go and really treat their spouse like crap. You understand? So when I go around the world, I make sure I have rainbows, I have sunsets, I have the best picture of the planet, I have everything, and I make sure I understand. I also have my mother-in-law, understand? Because that's something I can see. You understand? So every single day I can see it in the words. You understand? Or either way, or that means that there's something I need. I just need the word I there. Whereas now, I paint a different picture over here. I say my mother-in-law, who is I. You understand? Or that's it. I just move on now. And why? Because I never need a mother-in-law from somebody else. You understand? I need my word I here. You understand? Because that's how I become confident. I never need you and your mother-in-law. You understand? I have my word I. And that's what I mean. So when I go around Oros now, I start the sentence. When I go around Spain, I want to be making sure that those bulls, in terms of the Mexican bulls, are never ever being hit and never being ridden on, or else that they are never trying to, let's say, damage the bull, or else that they're never trying to kill it. They are never trying to whip it, because I feel for it. I feel for I only. I feel to help it in some kind of way, that it can be free flowing, so that so that bull that they step on never be hurt. I feel that kindness within me when I see Spain, because they tend to go bull riding, and I want to stop it. You understand? I want to stop that, but I understand that if I stop that, or else it keeps going. So what I do, I just make sure to give the information about it, that it's never kind to do that. I want to stand against that in my life. You understand? Because when you see a bull and people riding the bull, I mean, that bull is trying to defend itself. I mean, it's trying to get away from you. You understand? But you're the one prosecuting it. You're the one jumping on it. You're the one hitting it. You understand? I understand the bull runs after you to hit you because it's trying to defend itself, or because it's telling you, go away from me. But then you come back at it. But you start grabbing it by its horns. You start touching it again. You start to annoy it. You understand? Or it's like me coming into your family and grabbing your wife's head all the time. I mean, physically. I mean, that's how the bull feels. You understand? Or it's like me coming up to you today and slapping it every single day physically, and making your wife look at that. I mean, that's how it feels. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, understand that. I brush every single day. That's how I feel. So when I go around the world traveling with a plane, I make sure I go really, really say over here that I have a blast, in a way that I have the most passion. I have the most passion. I have something of nature that is going to help me. I look at the clouds. I look at the nice, beautiful rainbows. I look at all the nice, beautiful scenery around me. You understand? Or that's something that I feel about the plane. I have good memories in the plane. You understand? So every single time that when I look at my bad memories, I look at what? I look at drugs. I look at episodes of schizophrenia. I look at moments of the past where I was very fat and very ugly, in a way that I'm very beautiful, but I was calling myself ugly before. And then I look at moments where my father was physically abusing me, and where my father was physically abusing my mother, in terms of my biological mother, is a negative moment for me before. Or now, some negative moments from my life, or some negative moments from my life are also just doing something around the police in a way that is shifty business. And now, what kind of shifty business was I doing? Or I was doing more drink driving, you understand? Or those are the bad moments of my life. I was doing more, let's say, doing drugs. I was doing drugs in a way that I was smoking marijuana and driving, you understand? So realize this. So I now understand that when I go and really speak that out, you understand? I feel much better for that. You understand? I'm speaking from my heart over here. But I understand it's never the way to go anymore. You understand? Because it's just moments of my life where I never had empathy for any of you. You understand? I was just smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol while driving a car. I mean, how about your kids? I mean, if I crash into your kids and I kill them because I was on the drugs, I mean, I was careless. You understand? So that's where my sadness lies. I mean, that's my sadness, or that's suffering, or is that something that I now never regret it. I never regret it now, but it's sadness that teaches me something about life. I mean, it teaches me never to do it again, because I never want anybody to die. You understand? I never want to do that again. I mean, in a sense, so it's something that is just in my memory about life. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, understand that I just never want to be careless anymore. I want to take responsibility. I want to be making sure I'm always investing myself in a different way, and I want to be helping people. So understand, I'm painting pictures over here. So when I'm painting pictures, I'm looking at Adolf Hitler, for example. And now when I look at Adolf Hitler, I mean, why do I see him? Now I see him because I want to help only. I want to help only, and that's it. I never want to kill him. I never have hatred. I never hate him. I never hate him. I just want to help him to understand life. I want to help him. I have compassion for him in a way that I do for I. I want to help Hitler. I want to help these people in a way that is kind. I never want to be a part of the Nazi. I want to be part of something bigger. I mean, understand? Right now, that's what I feel. I was all that when I paint another picture, I see my biological mother this time. I was that with her, I want to help her. I want to make sure that she has everything. I want to make sure that she is never, let's say, anything other than happier. That's it. When I paint another picture, I see a woman. And this time, I see it through the words. I see this woman, and I just want to make sure that I'm much more than yesterday. I just want to make sure that I'm more than enough to be with her. You understand? That's it. I just want to make sure that I'm worthy of my I when we meet. You understand? That's it. Now I see marriage. I see marriage over here. I said marriage. I want to make sure that I want to make sure that on my wedding day that I have everything. I just want to make sure it's about I today. I mean, on my wedding day, it's about I. I mean, forget us. It's about I today, always. You understand? I was like, because it's because of I mean, that's everything. I was now, that's why I'm always leading. I mean, that's why I understand that this video is about I understand I helping you. That's it. Now, where's the us? The us is here, but it's about I mean, it's about I helping you. You understand? Whereas now, if it's about us, I mean, how do I help you then? You must understand. I have to help you first. I have to help you. Whereas now, either way, the I is us. You understand? I will understand that I'll go back to the I again, and then I paint another picture and I see a scarecrow. Why do I see a scarecrow? I see something very scary over here. And now, because it's so scary, I understand I have compassion. I have compassion, but I make sure I'm just lifting the scary people in the planet. You understand? Now, every single day, I focus upon understanding that any word that may pop up now is a bazooka. I see a bazooka. I see an architecture. I see something that's beautiful. I see something that's a war in a way that it's never a war, but it's something that may have been before. But otherwise, I understand that what's amazing about the bazooka is that I orchestrate it in a way that I find it attractive. I understand? That's it. Now, anything else in terms of words, you have to ask yourself these questions. You have to be looking at yourself and understanding to grow from that. And now when I look at my nice beautiful life, I mean, what is the image that pops up? I'm on the phone ringing something. I'm on the phone calling something. I have a nice beautiful image of myself calling something, or else it's my birthday. I'm calling somebody. You understand? I'm phoning a friend. You understand? I'm calling somebody. I understand either way. Unfortunately, just these images can really, really help you to inspire yourself. You understand? So every single day, focus upon understanding that you need to go and ask yourself these questions so that you can grow. And that's it. Every single day, focus upon understanding that when you're growing, you're going to find new ways of living life. Today, I went on a tour bus. And because I did go on a tour bus, I get $25 so I can see the whole Newcastle. I mean, is it worth it? It's worth it. So go and really revisit all the places that you've ever been to, and go and see extra in terms of the outer areas of those places. I mean, go see something new in those places. You can still go. You can still go to the same places to see something new. You understand? Every single day, you can go anywhere in life to see something new and to do something differently this time. You can go back to the past and you can do something differently this time. You understand? You can learn from it. You can learn from everything. Understand? But guess what? Or is that when you've seen this whole world, you've seen, let's just say you've seen all the images of this world. What is next? You must understand. Then you start writing about the world around you. When you have all the money in the world, you want to go see all the images, don't you? You want to go traveling everywhere, don't you? Because you have all the plastic money. You want to be traveling then, everywhere. But then once you've seen everything in terms of traveling, I mean, what do you do now? You start writing something down. I mean, what do you do once you've written everything down? You leave this world. I mean, that's it. Or that's it. Or now, everybody wants to have more plastic money to go travel more, and then they have to write it out. Or now, either way, you must understand that you must be writing and traveling and making more plastic money together. You must be enjoying the process of life now. I mean, never be waiting for something in life. I mean, forget everything and just focus on you. You have everything right now. You have it in you. You have to understand, you are everything. I mean, forget the kids. I mean, forget the wife. I mean, forget the husband. I mean, forget your family. I mean, forget the crowd. I mean, forget them. I mean, forget the famous people. I mean, forget the money. I mean, forget Jesus Christ. But look at you. I mean, never forget Jesus Christ. I mean, guess what? You must understand, if you look at you, I never deny Jesus Christ. Now, because I say that, you must understand, I love Jesus Christ. You must look at you. You must understand. You must focus on you and look at Jesus Christ also. Look at the information. I want to give you something because Jesus Christ says, look at you. You must understand. And that's why I say that. I never tried to diss this. I never tried to diss Jesus Christ. I understand, although that shows me that I did deny Jesus Christ here before. I did before because I was doing drugs before. You have to understand. I was denying Jesus Christ before. But now, I never deny Jesus Christ. I'm talking because I want you to understand something. I'm just going extreme levels of communication to try to see something for myself, to contradict what I say, and to learn something. You understand? But I want you to understand, forget everything but you. You understand? I mean, remember you. I mean, remember who you are. I mean, I want to take you into this world where you understand to look at you only, to treasure yourself. You understand? I mean, treasure everything that you are. I mean, forget everything else, but look at you only. And then just understand every single day to love yourself. And then when you love yourself, you understand Jesus Christ. You understand? That's that. Every single day, focus upon understanding that Jesus Christ forgets this world. You understand? But helps this world in the process. I mean, you understand? I mean, guess what? Or that sometimes unfair advantage happens with you. But understand that what's amazing is it never has to be an unfair advantage for you. Whereas now with me, I have no unfair advantage anymore. I make sure every single day that everything's working for me. I make sure everything's working for I. So if you try to put me in jail, and if you try to destroy me, and if you try to destroy my eye, you can never do it. You can never destroy I. I'm already a millionaire. I'm already a billionaire. I already consider myself one. I'm already an expert in I only. I'm already everything that I want to be. Whereas what do I do now? I make sure I have to grow more. I continuously grow because I want more from this life. And now when you want more from this life, you want to be looking at meaning. You want to have more meaning in your life. You want to be able to go and really, really study and orchestrate your life around places. But when you go tour busing, in terms of the tour bus, watch the guy or the woman on the tour bus that's driving the bus can stop you anywhere you want as well. You can just leave the bus as soon as possible. But understand that either way. What's amazing is they start giving you information about the places and the historic events around that town as well in the tour bus as an extra kind of fuel. So it's never just them driving the bus, understand, and then you watching the images. Or as they're talking on the microphone while you're watching everything, and it's exciting, you understand? Or as it really makes your day. Or as now, every single day when you go and see all these scenarios around the town really quickly with a tour bus, I mean, when you do it first, you understand that now you have to walk it as well. You have to walk it. You have to understand that it's much more that you go around the tour bus around Australia as well, and then go walk it yourself actually. Understand? Because you're going to get a different vibe. You're going to experience something new. So focus upon understanding every single day to go and do something that you've never done, because that's what I do. I wake up every single day. I'm straight to work. I understand? I used to wake up. I was waking up before, and I was driving 1 hour to get to work, and 1 hour back. Understand? And now I understand some people have it worse than me in that scenario. But guess what? I was fat. I was a cigarette smoker, I was a caffeine drinker, I was a drug addict as well with that. And I never held a job in terms of 9 to 5. I never held a job in a 9 to 5. My best job in a 9 to 5 is a waiter. It's my waitering job that I did. I held that one for 10 months. But I left because I understand the people there never want my position to grow. I just left. You understand? I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you ask a question and you say, I want to be the leader in your group. And if they never accept you, you just leave. That's it. I mean, I'm the commando. And I say, I'll find a better job. I have my job here now. If you just stay away from the 9 to 5 job, and you stay away from the 9 to 5 job, and you understand the rule now, I mean, stay away from the 9 to 5 job, you'll find your passion. And now, it's that creative module I've been talking about in this video. I mean, it's something that you can be creative about. You can show the world. You can showcase it into the world with yourself. You can be doing a spirituality with yourself, which is creative nature. I mean, go and really absorb astrology and information and scenarios of your life where you've never done something so that you can do it in a different way. So if you look at a bin, I mean, let's look at a bin. I mean, how can we improve the bin? I mean, let's take off the plastic bag from the bin. I mean, why do you need a plastic bag in the bin? I mean, what for? I mean, guess what? I mean, how else can we improve the bin now? I mean, remove the bin altogether. I mean, you understand? I mean, remove the bin altogether. I mean, why do you have a bin in your room? I mean, what for? I mean, remove the clutter from your life. I mean, do you understand that? I mean, when we look at a table, let's try and improve the table over here. I mean, remove it from the scenario. I mean, forget the table. You never need a table. You have a bed instead. I mean, when you look at plasma screen TV, I mean, what do you do? Like, remove it from your life. You remove it. You use your phone. You understand? Alright, now when you look at a portable speaker, I mean, now how can we improve a portable speaker? I mean, put a microphone to it. I mean, what else can we do with the microphone? I mean, put some words to it. I mean, what else can we do to it? I mean, put a video to it. I mean, what else can we do it? I mean, what else can we do to that video? I mean, let's look better than yesterday. I mean, let's look better than yesterday, like Danny Milovic. You understand? And now we have a full functioning service over here. You understand? I mean, we have something to do. I mean, when we have a towel, I mean, what do we do with the towel though? I mean, let's improve it. I mean, how do we improve the towel? I mean, let's make sure that we have a clean towel all the time. You understand? I mean, let's make sure we always have a clean towel that's brand new. Or that's it. I mean, understand? I mean, what else can we improve our life with? I mean, make sure every single day that you're learning and growing. You understand? I mean, when you're doing your business, I mean, let's improve your business today. I mean, let's just make sure that you're communicating more. I mean, let's just make sure that you're never doing physical work. I mean, just make sure every single day that you're focusing upon you. I mean, those are 3 business skills. And now understand you have to follow that. You have to follow those rules of intent. And now understand that when violence comes into play, I mean, remove the violence altogether. I mean, how do you remove violence from your life? You just walk away. You never be violent. I mean, let them be violent. I mean, look at Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus Christ is never violent, even though they are violent, because Jesus Christ never treats them how they treat Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ treats them how Jesus Christ treats himself. You understand? Or that's that. I mean, you treat yourself how you treat yourself and not how others treat you. You never treat me basing it on how I treat you. You treat me basing it on how you treat yourself. Whereas now when I see a drug addict, well, that individual is going to treat me like a drug addict. You understand? Because that's what they are. I never get around I never get around drug addicts. Because I understand their intent is to bring me down. Whereas now drug addicts, they get offended, or as they start to criticize me negatively about this. When they start getting negative on me for saying that, but it's the truth. I mean, if you're around drug addicts, or else that's what you become. So never get around drug addicts. Because drug addicts are thieves of life. Or they'll scam you. You understand? Or they'll take away your money and they'll never help you. You understand? I will never ever take away your money. I never want your money. I already have money in Jesus Christ. I have everything. You understand? So focus upon understanding that when you're really growing, I'm here doing a life coaching video, but I have a 1-bedroom apartment this time. I mean, just the other day, I went from 10 bedrooms into 1 bedroom into 4 bedrooms. I mean, why? I was changing rooms because people around me are just bothering me. You understand? I mean, guess what? I was like, I'm never annoying myself. I'm never annoying my eye. I was like, it's just they're talking to me. I want to go away. I want to just move somewhere else. You understand? I have nothing against them. But what's amazing now is if somebody is very positive on me and they're very smart with me, I want to tell them to shut up. I want to tell them in a way that it's never rude, but I want to say, hey, I just want to mind my own business. You just mind your own business today and just focus on you while I focus on myself, because I have so much business, man. I understand you're very smart, but I have to do my business. I have something much better to do than talk to you. I mean, now, I'm never being rude here. I'm being honest. I mean, even if you're so smart, or if you're the smartest individual in the world, then get away from me. You understand? I already have Jesus Christ in my life. You understand me? I'm Jesus Christ. I mean, leave me alone. I don't care about you. I mean, I care about you. I do care about you. I just care about you in a way that I care about myself more. I care about I and my business more than you. You understand? I'd rather talk to I all day long than you. I never care that you're a billionaire with plastic money. I'll find a way to make that, because you can never teach me that anyway. You can never teach me how to make $1 billion, even if you have $1 million in you. You understand? You can never teach me that. I mean, that's a facade that they say that they can teach you how to make billions of dollars because they have billions of dollars. I promise you, everybody here in life has $1 billion and more. I promise you, from the get-go, I promise you, do you believe a little baby has $1 billion? I promise you, I promise you, a little baby that's just born today has $1 billion and more. I promise you, that kid and that baby has Jesus Christ. I promise you, that kid has a God. Or that kid has something bigger than all of us. You understand? Because it's never about the plastic money. I want you to understand that I can never teach you anything. I can only teach myself. I can only teach my eye. I can only teach my life how to grow. You have to teach your life how to grow. You understand? You have to teach your life to grow in a way that you only can. If you want to learn, you have to teach yourself how to learn. You understand? Now, guess what? Billionaires and millionaires will give you ideas. They can never teach you. I can give you these ideas, but if you never follow up on my ideas, you never listen to me then. You must listen to me. You must understand that as long as you apply my information, I make you a billionaire. I promise you. I promise you, if you never agree with me in this video, you then are somebody of a drug addict, an antichrist. You have to agree with me in this video. I'm growing myself in this video. So guess what? I never need billionaires and their ideas. I have Jesus Christ ideas. You understand? I have Jesus Christ ideas. I never need anybody else's ideas in this planet. You never need my ideas. You need Jesus Christ ideas. You understand? I promise you now, I'm being honest with you. But I'm here to support you anyway. You're free to go. I promise you every single day, understand that no matter what you're doing, I promise you every single day, enjoy yourself. I mean, enjoy your life. I never need anybody else other than Jesus Christ information. You understand? That's the emphasis of life. That's something more than this world. That Bible tells me that there's something bigger than this world. I mean, what else can you add to the Bible with Jesus Christ? That's the Omega. That's something much more. That's the only story of Jesus Christ. You can never add to Jesus Christ's story with Jesus Christ in terms of being in, or you can never be in Jesus Christ's shoes in a way that you can live his life. I promise you that Jesus Christ can only live Jesus Christ's life. Understand? We have to add to Jesus Christ every single day to understand him. Understand? You can never add, you can add ideas to my life. You can just never walk my shoes. I never want to do anything other than make sure that I'm walking Jesus Christ's shoes every single day. You understand? I want to walk Jesus Christ's shoes, but I understand now that I'm just talking in a physical way. I mean, how can you walk my shoes physically? I mean, how can anybody walk Jesus Christ's shoes physically today? Or should we have to walk it spiritually? I mean, spiritually we can walk it. And then in spirituality, we can walk it physically too. You understand? Now, yes, you can walk people's shoes, or walk Jesus Christ's shoes. You understand? So focus upon understanding that there's always a better way to be smarter in life. And then once we're being smarter in life, we're doing something that we love to do. And that's the whole point of this coaching video, is to teach you how I'm talking and what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and what you need to do with it and why you need to do it and how you must do it. You understand? Because what the whole point is teaching you about life in terms of what you need to succeed so that you can survive, to thrive. I understand every single day, focus upon understanding that you have to be creative and you have to speak much more in front of people. Whereas now, guess what? Whereas Jesus Christ says, speak up in front of everybody. I mean, guess what? I mean, speak up in front of everybody. Actually, isn't that simple? To just speak up. I mean, if you want to talk to negative people, you talk to them. You talk to them. But guess what? Or else that you will get some negative advice over here. I mean, do you understand? Or else if you talk to negative people, or else they'll be negative on you, because that's what they are. So why do you want to talk to negative people? Or else now, guess what? I mean, you can talk to everybody you ever want. But understand that you just lift yourself. You can talk to other people whenever you want. And now for myself, I want to make sure that I'm only talking to my word I. I never want to talk to other people. I want to talk to my word I. But guess what? I now realize that I can go online and speak to people. I can go downstairs and speak to these people in the pub who are just on the piss in terms of on the drugs. You understand? I mean, they are just drinking. I mean, why do I want to be around them? I have this life coaching video to do. I have writing to do. I have a legacy to do. I mean, if I go and talk to the drunk people all night, I mean, where's the video recordings? I mean, how am I talking to myself all day long? Gosh, that's a waste of time, isn't it? Gosh, it's a waste of time to be with drunk people and in a nightclub trying to chase women or men to have sex with them and to be around the crowd. It's a waste of time. I mean, why is it a waste of time? Because you have to be documenting something. You have to be leaving a memory of you. I mean, what's this? I mean, you can only do this in front of you. You never do it in front of other people. You have to leave a legacy for yourself. You understand that? Probably if I go around the crowd, then I have to make sure that I'm recording myself in the process and that I'm documenting every single word I say, because I want to leave a legacy behind that helps you. You understand? So if you're around strippers, make sure that you're writing something down. I mean, make sure you're always writing something down around people and that you're learning from the situation. And now, I've already learned from that situation. I already say, I just move away from negative people. I understand that. I never need them in my life. I need Jesus Christ more. I understand? I have Jesus Christ. I mean, what do I need now? I just need my word I. I have my word I. I mean, now I just grow then. I just grow in a way that I want to help everybody grow. I want to make sure that you understand that when you're growing, you're going to find new ways and new ways of tactics to be able to promote yourself in silence and to love your life. I mean, just recently, I was able to play the piano in front of some people, but I'm saying I never want to do that. I never want to cause some noise around here. I understand? I get some complaints about me sleeping late and waking people up and about my odor or something like that. But guess what? I never stink. I can also go sleep whenever I want at the hostel. I mean, imagine somebody coming up to you and saying that you sleep so late and that's why they're kicking you out. I mean, what for? I mean, why do you need to kick somebody out who wants to sleep when they want? You understand? Or is that when people start coming up to you and they say, hey, your food is never meant to be in the locker. You have to put your food in the kitchen like everybody else. I mean, guess what you do? You go in silence and you forget them. You just put your stuff in the locker again. I mean, forget them. I mean, why do you want to listen to them? You understand? I mean, guess what? Or else when somebody tells you what to do in words, you never do it. I mean, you never do it. Or if they say you must follow everybody else, you say, I understand that. I mean, or else if they say, are you going to follow people? You say, I must. And guess what? You just leave, or else that's the whole point. It's just to end the conversation, and then guess what? You never follow the crowd. Even though they say for you to go, I mean, even if they say for you to follow the crowd, you just agree with them, you agree with what they say, and then just go, and then never listen to them. You understand? Or as if you go to a hostel and they say, you put your suitcase over here like everybody else. I mean, guess what? You say, I have no worries with that, but never listen to them. I mean, put your suitcase, put your suitcase where you want to put it. And never because of them. Whereas now, if they say put it over there in a suitcase, but that's what you want to do, I'm going to do it. I mean, if they say you put your food in the fridge, and if it's not in the fridge, or they say, and if it's never in the fridge, that they will kick you out, for example. Whereas now, you don't have to listen to them. Whereas now, you get your food and place your food in the locker instead. And you're doing it in silence, or else they'll never check up on you. Or else they'll never check up on you again. I promise you. You just go do it behind the back in the silence, because they are trying to order you around in words. And they're trying to tell you what to do in words. Whereas now you correspond in a positive way and never get negative. But understand, you never have to do what they do. But guess what? I gave some money to get some Uber service. And this individual comes into my life. I put my nice beautiful stuff in his boot. And then I teach him to understand something. That you must never ever go and make people walk 1 kilometer to your Uber stand to get with you. You are the Uber driver. You understand? Now, if you're an Uber driver, you must understand then to pick people up from the spot and never make them walk 1 kilometer to you. You understand? If you make people walk to you 1 kilometer physically, you're never doing them a service. You understand? Now, guess what? Or if you're working as an Uber driver and I have to walk to you this long, you must understand, never do it again. Never put yourself in a position to walk to get the Uber driver. Forget him then. Give him the plastic money and move on. Get a better driver. Never ever go walking physically somewhere to get your taxi cab or Uber. Guess what? Or else it looks stupid for you to be walking at night time 1 kilometer to get to your Uber driver. Just order another Uber. Just order another Uber driver. Forget the $10. Never walk physically there. Never. Or does it make you look rich? Or never look. Guess what? It never makes you look rich here. Or because it's physical work. Or now, guess what he does? Or guess what he does in this situation? I tell him that it's because other people are going to give you 2 stars for your service. You understand? Or now he gets offended, or else he starts to really ramble here and says, "Get out of the car." Or he says, "Get out of the car," and he says he cancels my appointment with him in terms of for him to service my car, in terms of to service me, to drive me back. I gave him some money, but he's cancelling the Uber and he takes away my money. Guess what? I'm going to have the money. I'll give you I'll give you my business card too. Grab my business card as well. Understand? But if you understand to never kick people out of the car, never kick people out of the car in the first place. Why are you kicking me out of the car for? I walk 500 meters to get to you. And you kick me out of the car too. And you never drive me to my destination, and I give you money. And then I give you my business card too. And I close the boot nicely as well. You understand? Guess what? I'm a bigger man over here. The guy treated me, I realize the guy's treated me like crap. But guess what? I never care about him anymore. I gave him everything that I have. Guess what? My business card is everything. My business card is my whole life story I give you. My whole life story. All these coaching videos, all the quotes I've ever made, all the journals, all the photos of me, all the videos I've ever taken, all the files I've ever made. That's my business card. Here you go. Go look at my life. Go and learn something. That's it. That's it. Every single day, focus upon giving people everything. When they treat you like crap, you give them everything. You understand? Because that's what Jesus Christ gave you. But look at how they treat Jesus Christ. They treat him like shit. Just like this Uber driver treats me like shit. You understand? I just left the scene. You must understand that every single time that negative people get negative around people who are much bigger than them, whether they are negative or positive, or is it when you see negative people, or is there social stigma around negative people, and now negative people compete with negative people to become the greatest status around negative people. And now the greatest status of negative people is the leader who, let's say, has more in negativity than others in terms of domination. And now guess what? Or the negative people over here are looking at the negative people in terms of the leaders, and they hate them. And they also hate the positive ones too. Or as the negative ones hate both sides of the equation. Or as they hate negative people, or as they also hate positive people. Or as positive people love haters. Or as positive people love negative people. What I said? Or as positive people love negative people, and positive people love positive people. Or as positive people are never ones that are haters. Or as positive people love everything in life. Or as negative people hate everything. What I said? Or that's how it is. I love negative people, but I just never hang around with them. I love a snake, I just never go to a snake. Whereas now, I've gone to a snake before, I never want to touch it. I mean, now, guess what, I can touch a snake. You understand? Whereas it's just something I still have to do. But now, or else now, do I want a snake as a pet? Or else now, right now, or for me, it's never the time to have a snake right now. You understand? Whereas now, either way, I love everything. But imagine all the animals in the world. You have to be with them eventually. You have to see them, you have to be with them, you have to see how they are. But understand that you must be kind toward them. You must be looking at them in the wild. You must be going somewhere where they are happier only. I mean, see them happier. And live in the zoo. Or in the zoo, or koalas and all these crocodiles and everything are actually upset. I mean, they're stuck. And now crocodiles that are just born in the zoo, or they're happy. Or now, guess what? They are being fed lies. Or these crocodiles are growing up in the zoo, when they're born in the zoo. And they believe that's their home. Or they're so happy, these crocodiles. You know, but they grow up being very weird. I mean, they're never dominating anything. Or they're very scared of humans. Whereas these crocodiles that are being born in actual zoos are very scared of humans. Or else if you get an alligator from the actual wild, I'm sure that crocodile wants to eat you. Now, crocodiles that are born in the actual zoo are like little pussycats in terms of, let's say, wussies. Understand? I mean, guess what? Or is that they are just kinder, or is they're very kind. But the alligators that are actually born in the wild will still come after you. But these alligators that are born inside the zoo, or they just want to be playful with you. Understand? And now what's the difference? I mean, the difference is, whereas there's no killer instinct in those, whereas there's no killer instinct in these creatures that are born in zoos. I mean, do you understand? I mean, there's no killer instinct there. Because those koalas and everything in terms of those animals that are born in the zoo believe that's everything. Understand? So they grow up a certain way, and they grow up differently. Understand? But understand that no matter what, that if an alligator, who is a killer alligator, grows up in the wild, is very happy. They're very happy. But as soon as you put a killer crocodile inside of a zoo, now it's very upset. She's trying to traumatize everything. You understand? That crocodile is trying to kill everything and itself. You understand? Because it's so much in depression. Because it's seen a better world. Understand? And then you minimize it into some kind of world. And you pull it into a 10-meter radius. When it's been into there's a radius over there that there's no blocks anymore in that radius. But then you minimize it to a 10-meter radius. You know what I'm saying? And that's as far as it goes. I mean, it's always in one 10-meter radius, like a jail or prison. I mean, imagine you went to prison today. I mean, that's how the crocodile feels. I mean, imagine how big our world is. I mean, we can go everywhere with the plane today. I mean, that crocodile feels like that in the wild. I mean, in the wild, the crocodile's saying, hey, I have legs to go everywhere today. But then humans or police officers come up to you, and they put you in prison, and they put the crocodile into the zoo. And the zoo is the prison as well. Now, you must understand the crocodile sees the zoo as a prison. You must understand? You never do it for anything other than you in terms of I. Although, guess what? Whereas now, they put you in let's just say they put you in a jail. Whereas now, understand Lil Wayne is just there now. Although, you must understand either way that what's amazing is understand that you never have to go to prison. But understand that I never want you in just one room like this. I mean, imagine just living in this one room. I mean, how boring, huh? Yeah, just to sleep a bit is nice. To have some privacy is nice. But to sleep, to be living here, somebody comes in the door over here and just gives me some food. That's like a jail prison. Guess what? Or as a crocodile in this situation is running at walls. This crocodile wants to destroy everything. Now, you must understand that crocodile is more just hating life. You understand? Now, is the crocodile destroying itself in terms of hitting walls and all this? No. No. But it's very upset. You understand? Wants to kill you. You understand? Because it's the killing instinct. Every single day, understand that now, since you understand that, I'm much more of a worthy coach. Because I understand I tell the truth. I show you the truth and I angle my truth in words that I can go and speak it. I speak to the truth, I state the truth, I be honest with the truth, and I be honest with everything. And that's how I grow. I grow for different ways, but I never try to lie to you because I want to grow. I want to grow myself. I understand either way, I never make a mistake when I'm growing. I never make a mistake. I contradict everything. I may say something, but I go back on it. I mean this. This is what I really mean. Or else this is what I really mean. Now, for myself, in terms of Instagram, Instagram is something that I go on right now, and I do one post every 3 hours. I was doing 6 posts for 1 hour length. Whereas now, what I do with branding photos today is I go do a branding photo, I do 20 photos per scene. I was sitting at one scene for 1 hour doing branding photos before. Whereas now, I may do it for 10 minutes and just do one attire and then go to the next scene over there and change clothing and do a next scene over there. And that's it. Understand? But one video a day is more enough for you to have your image. You understand? So I just go and do these branding photos because I have an Instagram where I can post all this content about me. And that's it. You can go and do the same thing. You just make sure you understand the rule of one. Post one post a day. Post one post in YouTube and Instagram and Instagram Reels and Instagram Stories and Instagram Feed. All one each. You understand? IGTV, you do one a day of a video there. Understand? And make sure you understand that one is the ultimate way in terms of numbers. So understand now, since I'm teaching you this, you must understand that now, you must understand every single day to grow yourself. And when you're growing yourself, never try to talk around the crowd. Never try to be the spotlight in front of the crowd, other than being the spotlight in front of the crowd in silence. You must understand? Do it silently. And never be loud, because loud people never get the life. You understand? Actually, silent people who are very loud get the life. You understand? Actually, now, you must understand there's a big difference between silent people and loud people. Actually, loud people are just loud. You understand? Actually, silent people are silent and loud. Actually, now, be silent and loud. You understand? Because that's what Jesus Christ is. Actually, Jesus Christ is silent and loud. You understand? But loud people are just loud. Actually, they have no silence. You understand? They never understand silence, and now because they never understand silence, or they drive you crazy, or they drive themselves crazy. You understand? You need peace and rest in your life. You need peace, you need calm, you need serenity, you need to have silence in your life. You look for the silent road, and now the more silent you are, the less crazy you are. The more silent you are, the less likely it is that you're going to go hurt somebody. Loud people who are only loud want to kill everything. You understand? Now, understand, every single day, focus upon doing the best job you can. Focus upon leading people in the best way. But if they get if they get you in a 9 to 5 job today, guess what? Give them knowledge as much as you can about your skills and assets. And make sure you understand to get yourself into a high position right away. Forget the experience. The experience is all bullshit. They ask for 5 years experience. Get the job right away. Call them and just say, I have experience. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. I'll come and do it for you right now. Guess what? Or else they'll let you, or else they'll allow you. Or else they want to see who's confident to have the work. But understand, they may put all this information. You must have the degree. You must have this. You must have this. You must have this. Just say, I already have that. I'll teach you. They'll say, they'll be very interesting about you. Just give me a chance. I'll show you what I can do. Understand? You call them. Forget the degree. You never need a degree to be a doctor. I promise you. I mean, today, you never need a degree to be a doctor. You just go ask for the opportunity to do so. Rosh, now, guess what? Rosh, they'll give you the opportunity. Rosh, they'll give you the opportunity. Rosh, there's no limits in this world. Rosh, somebody out there will give you an opportunity. But guess what? You give yourself the opportunity first. You must understand that your opportunities that you give yourself is always a yes. You understand? Whereas now others can say no. But never rely on others' opportunities for your life. You must understand your life is a full opportunity. But other people who may bring you an opportunity are blessings in your life. Whereas now, many people will never bring you an opportunity in life. I mean, do you understand that? Because they never have a service. And now people who have a service are people who make events. And they call you to the event because you are somebody in their field that they love. And now, it's never that they are hating on people, or it's just that you are doing much more work than everybody else, and that's why you are going to the event and they are never going to the event, because you are somebody that has a field of interest. You have a niche, or this is my niche, or what's my niche? I mean, I mean, this face, or this image, or this information. I mean, everything is my niche. I mean, life is my niche. I'm a life coach. I mean, I teach life. I've been living this life for 28 years. I mean, it's a long life I've been living. I can start teaching it now. I can start teaching my life at 1 year of age. I promise you. I promise you, 1 year is a long time. I mean, do you understand? I mean, how much can you see in 1 year? I mean, imagine yourself at 1 year of age now. I mean, how much have you seen? You've seen the world around you. I mean, guess what? Or else now, if you understand that you are seeing the world around you right now, you have been living this lifestyle, you understand that you must understand that there's no bullshit here. You may say that you never remember 1 year of age or something. Or else I remember everything in my 1 year of age. I remember everything when I was 2, when I was 3, when I was 4, when I was 5. I understand how I was. You understand? You have to understand how you were. You're never old. You have to understand every single day. Focus upon loving your life. When you love your life, you understand why you can do life. You can do life in a better way. And now I do have a portable speaker here. That's it. I do amplify my sound like this. But I love it. I love to have a microphone on it. That's it. I feel much more of a blessing when I can just talk and listen to my sound like this. And I never have to shout over you. I never have to shout over people. And now I love to shout over people. I love it. I love to shout. And I may sound angry. I'm never angry about anything. But I love to speak. I love to talk. I love to just enjoy myself. I love to be having a conversation like this with myself all day long. I mean, is this an interesting conversation? You have to understand it is. Actually, it's something that helps me grow. Actually, it's something that really, really sparks my interest. I mean, every single day, I focus upon different areas of life. And now, since I'm doing a video, you must understand, just earlier, I was going to start writing. But then I said, hey, I have a life coaching video to do. I do 1 hour every single day. I understand? I just want to exceed my expectations sometimes. I want to do extra sometimes. But I understand either way that what's important is that I do my work and I talk about my day. I talk about the beautiful day I've experienced in my life in terms of that I've been experiencing in my life. And now I understand that just recently I get some complaints against me at the Newcastle Beach Backpackers YHA. I understand these people are complaining about me, about my odor, and about the food and drink, and about me sleeping late at night, and about them saying that I made some noise while they were sleeping. I mean, of course you're going to make some noise when you open the door, and people are sleeping. I mean, of course you're going to open the door and you make some noise at night. I mean, I was never purposefully trying to wake people up. I mean, guess what? Or is that when people complain about you, or is you are winning. I mean, they have nothing to say about me. I mean, they just want me to leave silently. I left silently. I mean, never ever talk to people who are complaining about you. So I have a nice beautiful accommodation now here. I understand the hotel's name is something in life, but guess what? I realize every single day, I book the next day, for example, to go to Port Stephens. But I book a double night because it's a 2-night minimum. You understand? Whereas now, you can never even do 1 night over there. You have to do 2 minimum. Well, I'll give them $80 right away. I mean, guess what? I mean, sometimes it's going to be a 5-day minimum. Or sometimes it'll be 7 days minimum that you can live at the place. I mean, they'll say that we only take 7 days money straight away. I mean, sometimes they're going to save. Sometimes sometimes they take 5 days minimum. I was in Darwin at the YMCA, or it's 5 days per asset, or you give them 5 days worth of money and you stay there for 5 days. So that's 5 days of decisions. So every single time I give them money, I have to understand that 5 days, I'll be there 5 days minimum. I have no worries. But then the next 5 days, I have to calculate. I mean, do I want to be here for the next 5 days? Obviously yes, obviously given. Obviously now, do I want to be here for the next 5 days? Obviously now, I don't know. Obviously, although you have to understand that you have to find out. And let's just say yes, you give them money again, but then you go. You never give them money on the 16th day. You understand? I mean, it's the same thing with the 7 days. I mean, what happens here is you do the 7 days, or you do 7 days, but then you just leave on the 7th day, and that's it. You understand? Or sometimes you do 1 day at a time at hostels. I just do 1 day at a time with hostels. I do the bare minimum of renting places. I never tried to sign a contract or a lease anymore. I've already done that. I can see they try to trap you in one place with a lease. I mean, never try to sign a lease. I mean, go and live yourself in hostels with people. And then when you're living in hostels with people, you're going to find out how people are living. You're much better off living in a hostel today than any kind of accommodation parlour in your area. And now understand, if you're living in Sydney, Australia, you have the Q-Space Hotel. And now the Q-Space Hotel is something that's $155 a week to $185 a week. It's the most affordable rent that you'll find in Sydney. You understand? So go and check it out. And it's 1 room. You understand? Whereas now, it's never about bringing a woman back home and all that. Whereas it's more about making sure it's never about bringing a man back home. Whereas it's more about making sure that you go lift yourself and go and communicate more. Because guess what? I'm on the bus today, in a tour bus, and I say, how am I going to make all this plastic money? Whereas that, I've already made it, I told myself. I told myself all the time, I already have that plastic money. I have everything. I just understand I'm a rock star already. I'm a star on YouTube. I'm a star, I understand? Because my information is helping. And now people, in terms of other people, never agree with that. But this information is helping somebody, I promise you. I promise you now, those people who never believe in my information are stupid. Or else now, why don't you want to go and find out about those people who hate you and their stories? And go find out about everybody's story. Or else I have a story to tell. Or else I'm not stupid about that. I can teach you with my story. Whereas now, if you never believe that about me, or else just, I mean, if you want to leave, you can go. Or else now, you're never fooling me. Whereas nobody's fooling me around life. Understand? I never get told what to do. I never tell people what to do. I show people what to do. You understand? I never tell you what to do. I never tell you get the bin and throw in the rubbish. I never tell you to do that. I show you how to do that. I show you what you do with the bin. You remove it from your life in the first place. So you never have to throw the rubbish bin in the first place when somebody tells you to do it. Because you say, I never do that anymore. I never do that anymore. I never throw out the bins anymore. Or that's never my job anymore. You understand? Or that's somebody else's job. I mean, guess what? Or I never do that anymore. I never throw out my own bins anymore. I have cleaners. I have other people who are doing a 9-to-5 work around here. You understand? Or they're doing it. They're the ones throwing my bins. You understand? I mean, they're the ones emptying my bins. I mean, they're the ones giving me my toilet paper. I never get toilet paper anymore. I never give money for electricity. You understand? I never pay the bills. I just give rent. I give rent 1 day at a time. Whereas if you want to survive this life in a way that you're thriving, you give 1 day rent at a time. I mean, you understand? You don't get yourself a mortgage rate. I mean, guess what? A mortgage rate, or is that what happens here is they say over 20 years you'll be giving us money. And that's a 20-year plan to be giving them money. I went crazy giving iPhone people money for 2 years in repayment. I went crazy, you understand? I mean, I went to Las Vegas, I took out a loan for $5,000. I went to Las Vegas, I blew away, although I experienced something from that. And now guess what? I gave $3,600 in 11 days. You understand? I mean, today, if I go to Las Vegas today with $3,600, I lived there for 4 months. I mean, what's the difference? I'm much more smarter today with my financing. I understand? I blew $3,600, and now guess what? That's never a lot of money. But guess what? There's a big difference, isn't there? What's a lot of money today? There's no amount that's a lot of money today. I mean, guess what? You win. There's no such thing as a lot of money. I mean, guess what? Or there's only a lot of money in terms of Jesus Christ. I mean, isn't that a blessing? I mean, if you want a lot of money, how much is a lot of money? I mean, what's the price that you like to do? I mean, the price that you need is Jesus Christ only, and never a number. You never want to achieve a number. You want to achieve Jesus Christ. Understand? So every single day, understand that money blocks you in terms of the financing of the numbers. Will block you. But what never blocks you is giving information on how to do so. I mean, give yourself information about everything, and you'll never block yourself. I'm here at the pub in some corner, but I hear people drunk, and they're so loud. I never want to be there. And now, if I go there, I can go there. I can be totally safe around loud people. But what I do is I be more silent than them. And now, because I'm more silent, or else they'll never recognize me, you understand? But if I go to the table and I try to be louder than them, I promise you they get very jealous, and they get very negative, and they start to really cause violence. I promise you anybody Beyonce, or anybody who tries to be loud with them, they'll get very, very arrogant and violent, I promise you. I promise you anybody who's very loud will get negative upon anybody. You understand? I hear, I can hear it. I mean, you understand? Because the people who drink beer, I mean, what are they saying? I mean, they're just causing a nuisance, or is they causing a public nuisance? You understand? Or is now the police allow them to do that because it's legal? And then guess what? Or is they defend it? Or is they defend drunks? I mean, they hold on to it for their life. You understand? Or they become poisonous because that's what the government wants in life. Or the government wants you to be poisonous. You understand? I never want you to be poisonous. I want you to understand that Jesus Christ allows them to drink alcohol. I mean, Jesus Christ fills their tanks. You understand? When Jesus Christ says, how much wine do you want? I'll give you wine. I'll give you guys wine. Over and over again. I mean, keep it rocking. But does Jesus Christ go to drink the wine? Or should Jesus Christ never wants to drink the wine? Because Jesus Christ understands that is never the way to go, to be a leader. But Jesus Christ will allow them to do so because God allows you to do what you want. I mean, imagine a God that never allows you to do anything. I mean, understand? But God allows you to do what you want. And go and figure it out. I mean, Jesus Christ is so silent about never drinking alcohol. But you can see it. I mean, in silence, you convince people of silence. You have to understand, you will never ever have a kid or a wife or a husband or achieve anything in this life if you never do it in silence. Now, if you are always, I mean, let's just say you're a man and a woman, and you guys are just talking like this in communication, you're leading each other astray. I mean, eventually. I mean, if you are a woman and I'm talking to you, I mean, and you're a man, but let's just say you guys, in terms of you men out there, are gay for me. I mean, let's just say, or is that, let's just say you are interested, let's just say you are curious about sex with me, and whoever you are. But let's just say we're just talking like this. And we're just talking and talking and talking, and just talking and talking, and that's it. You just go. You just leave me. I mean, understand? Because why? Or else we're just talking to each other all the time. I mean, or else we have a connection, or else we have all the sex in the world here. I mean, that's what Jesus Christ is telling you. I mean, that's eternity. And that's all the sex in the world. But the different kind of sex that Jesus Christ never does is the pleasure of putting a penis into a vagina or a penis into something else. You understand? Firstly, Jesus Christ never does that. Understand? But people are so loud. And now, when you understand that I have to get you in silence for that, I have to get more quiet around you. I have to be more quiet and more quiet so that we treasure each other in a way that you realize that now, since that we're not talking anymore, or else you have to understand that you want to be with me now. You want to be with me more because we're more silent together. You understand? I mean, now since we're silent, we can just go into the bedroom and have sex. You understand? Because we're still holding on to each other in the silence over here. But if we're always talking like this, I mean, do you understand? I mean, we're just talking for the next 5 hours and 10 hours. I mean, you eventually get tired. I mean, you eventually get fatigued. You just want to go now. I mean, there's no more time for sex in terms of pleasure. But if we're just getting silent and more silent and more silent in conversation, or eventually, I move in for the kiss. I go for the kiss. Or you move in for the kiss. And then we hold each other's hands and we just go. Or else we say, you have to come, you have to come. Understand? I mean, guess what? Or else that's how it is. But guess what? I mean, Jesus just talks with you. I mean, he just wants to talk with you. Understand? Because that's the real connection. I mean, the talking is a connection. I mean, sex is never the connection. You understand? Because within sex, there may be orgasms and a bit of talking, but it's no communication, really. I mean, there's no communication in that. Now, there may be a little bit of communication in terms of words, in terms of this video. I mean, how much, I mean, guess what? I mean, let's just say that two people are having sex, or as when you're having sex with individuals, with other people, or as with other people, I mean, are you talking like me in the actual sex that you're doing with other people? I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, you may be saying a little bit of it, or else now, 1 hour and 51 minutes. I mean, if you're going for 1 hour and 51 minutes having sex, I mean, how many words are you really talking to the woman or man with? I mean, little to none. I mean, that's why it's never professional development. I mean, that's why it's never much of spirituality in sex with other people. And that's why Jesus Christ stays away from it. But Jesus Christ comes here to do you this video because this is actual growth. I mean, this is actual pronunciation of God and something that is eternity. Because this is communication. I mean, this is professional. I mean, this is where we come to grow. But when you're having sex for 1 hour and 51 minutes, I mean, you may call her a slut. You may call her a bitch. You may call him a fucking dad or something. You must understand. But that's never communication, really. I mean, what are you trying to teach them there? That there's some fucking dad, or that there's some. I mean, that they are your daddy or something. I mean, what's that teaching you about life? You're just calling him a daddy. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, understand? That's stupid talk. I mean, look at this life coaching session. I mean, what's this teaching you? I mean, a host of ideas. I mean, a host of scenarios. I mean, a host of professional development about ideas and about life and about something of a perspective about Jesus Christ and about everything to teach you to grow. Because this is me talking it. And I'm talking and talking. I mean, this is better than sex. You understand? Because I have sex like this with women and men. I have sex like this. I mean, this is the ultimate sex. Whereas now, most people, they go and start doing all this stuff with women and men in bed. Whereas they may say whatever, and they may swear at each other. But or there's little communication. You fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. I mean, what's this? I mean, what are you on about, man? I mean, what are you on about in life? I mean, how is that lifting that individual? I mean, how does that lift you in life? I'm lifting you now by talking like this. You understand? So what's amazing is understand that communication is, I mean, that communication is dead in terms of the sex with other people. I mean, that's dead. I mean, that's the comfort zone. And why is the comfort zone? Because there's less talking in that. Or is it's more doing, or is what's it doing in life? I mean, that's just blowing your mindset away into throwing it in the rubbish. You understand? Because are you taping yourself doing it? Or else now people tape themselves do it. Or else now people say, people tape themselves doing it. Or else now, do you have to do it? You never have to do it. You never have to do pornography in terms of videos with pornography. I'm not sure though that it teaches little to nothing. Or else you understand? Or else drugs. Or else I mean, how's that improving people with communicational words? I mean, the only service that you can actually give is in communicational words. I mean, it's either communicational words or images. I mean, what type of individual are you? Or now, artists like Leonardo da Vinci, I mean, guess what? Or that's one image that you can see in 1 second. I mean, he works 4 years on one image. You understand? Or he works 4 years on one image, but that image keeps him happy for 40 years of his life. You can see in 1 second, but he works on it for 4 years. Do you understand? Or I mean, to you, you never even experienced what he has in that communicational gap of doing his painting. I mean, nobody has experienced, nobody else has really found that foundation of Leonardo da Vinci and how he did it. Because only Leonardo da Vinci can see that. Because that's his story. But he shows you, or else he shows you how he did it. Understand? Or now, since he did it, go do something else. And why do you want to copy Leonardo da Vinci? Or if you want to copy Leonardo da Vinci, then you become Leonardo da Vinci. You don't want to be him, you want to be you. I don't want to be anybody else but Jesus Christ information. You understand? Rosh, that's it. Rosh, that's the only information of the world. I understand, although, that those people are loud. Rosh, those people are in a pub. Rosh, it's a hotel where a pub is down below. But guess what? I gave $60 to be here for one night. But here I am. I gave you a 2-hour video. And then, do you understand? Guess what? I'm giving you much more. I'm always preparing more. But is it worth it? Is this nice, beautiful scenery here worth it for you? I gave $60 to do this video. Do you get it? I gave $60 to sit here to do the video so I can help you. Understand that. I already have my money's worth in this video. I gave $80 for the next 2 nights. Are we doing this video somewhere else? Understand? Because that's my plan. I have a strategy. Or else I have a passion. So my fulfilling of my intention is always fulfilling myself. I fulfill myself all the time in different aspects of life. I understand all the people from the past get me so stupidly because they're negative, or as they're negative people and they never understand my communication. I'd be a smart ass with them and they get negative because they're just negative. I get positive with them, or as they get negative. I send them beautiful content, or as they negatively criticize me. I show up in front of their face and I say something and they tell me to fuck off. Or as they just never appreciate me, bro. Why? Because they never appreciate themselves. Guess what? Move yourself from the situation and never go there again. Because they never want to defend you either. They never want to help you. Guess what? Or else they're helping me already. I can see it's more. They will help you spiritually. So you can see everybody's helping you spiritually and telling you what they're doing in the moment. But there's only a few content creators today, such as Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and Eckhart Tolle and Vishen Lakhiani and just a few. And now Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn are other people who are content creators, so you can check them out, and also Dr. Wayne Dyer and Osho. But understand, you have to be creating more videos and more images and more audios of yourself. If you want a legacy and you want a big name for yourself, you have to create something. Beyonce creates all this music because she wants to be someone in that. Jay-Z creates all this content about Jay-Z. Who else? Hitler. You have to understand that everybody creates all this content about everybody. And does that make sense? Guess what? You have to create content. You have to understand you have to be creating all this content, but everybody is creating content about themselves. Whereas now, the more content you show me about you, the more popular you are. Do you understand? Whereas what is your business? You. Your full name is I. You understand? Whereas now, I have a business to show you my life. Whereas this face is just a face. This is just something of my image. Understand? This is my real image of I. This is real. Your image is real. And you're going to have the same image in eternity as well. Whereas what you have today is everything. But guess what? You get to choose what kind of body do you want in eternity that is from your image. That's it. You are made in the image of God. So understand every single day, the more sex you have with other people, the more you waste time. Because it's little to no communication. And the more you watch Netflix with other people, you must understand that the amazing thing about Netflix is you can watch so many images, but you have to watch it quickly. You have to watch these images quickly. And now, the more images you watch, the happier you are. I promise you. You have to watch more images in life. More images. I mean, when you see this video, I mean, never watch my video start to finish with the images. I mean, go over the video and just go quickly and see 2 hours and 1 second of what I did in the video, and then guess what you do with the audio? You just put it in your pockets. You start writing some notes down. You forget watching me anymore. Understand? You watch me in 1 second. You never have to watch me for 2 hours. I mean, people sit on a movie session and they watch 2 hours of the movie. And they watch 2 hours of images. I watch 2 hours of images in 1 second. I mean, how? I just go quickly to see the actual images of the film. Understand? So I'm always understanding that I have to go and watch quickly the images. I mean, the wrestling, I mean, little to no images in that. I mean, wrestling and sports. I mean, table tennis. I mean, guess what? Or when it's just tennis, I mean, 5 hours of just them playing on one pitch. I mean, that's it. I mean, for 5 hours, I mean, guess what? You just go 5 hours like this. You see 5 hours how they're running around. When they're running around like this in tennis. What's that image? And what's that image in life? You understand? Or is that in this video, you see me shaking my hands for a bit. You understand? And that's it. But Netflix will show you all these different people. I mean, Netflix will show you everything you ever want to see. You understand? I'm showing you everything right now in terms of eye. But you have to watch and understand that wrestling, I watch the images first, and the audio, I never care about the audio anymore, about wrestling. Whereas it teaches me nothing about life. Whereas now understand that nothing teaches me about life except I. Whereas nothing will teach you about life except you. I have to grow myself here. I have no time for other people. I have no time for anything other than I today. I mean, who am I hanging around with the next 72 years or more? I only. I have no plans for other women. I have no plans for anything other than I. I have no time for anything other than I. I'm working on my legacy over here. I'm working to develop myself. I'm working to be a star. I'm working to be a legacy of a greatness. I'm working to be just an individual who has a greater life than everybody. Understand? You can kill me, you can do whatever you want with me, but I'm always better than yesterday. And that's it. I just make sure you understand. I'm always focusing on a better life. I choose to grow. I choose to make sure that I can pronunciate myself in a better way. I choose to sit down for 2 hours. I mean, it's a long time. I mean, it's a long time. I mean, 1 minute's a long time. I mean, 1 second is a long time. You understand? Whereas everything is a long time for me. Whereas everything is long life for me. Whereas now I do it for I only. Whereas now every single day I'm focusing all the time to make sure that you're growing and to always understand health is the #1 solution in I. You must go and develop yourself. You must understand every single day that you focus upon your life and understand you have to be a blessing. You have to be lifting yourself. You have to be understanding that you have to look at. I look at the camera. I look at the camera like this. I connect with you. I understand if I look at myself like this, I'm looking at myself. But I can look at myself after the video. I understand? So that's another skill. I have hiccups. I mean, that's another skill. You understand? You look at the camera, straight in the eyes. And then guess what happens from that point? You stop the video, you connect the video together, because understand my Samsung connects 47-minute videos together. And I may have 3 videos now because of the hourly rate here. And then what's my hourly rate here? Honestly, it's priceless, you understand? Although I connect it together, and then I put it into 480 HD, you understand? And I post it online into Mega Drive first, because all my content goes into Mega Drive first, and then YouTube, you understand? I mean, Mega Drive is much more important for me because it holds everything that I have. Whereas YouTube just holds my videos. I mean, Mega Drive holds my images as well. And that's why. And also my PDFs and audios. Whereas every single day, focus upon understanding that it's about lifting people every single day and focusing upon understanding that what you want to do is finish up, and then guess what? You grow yourself into something much better and just live your life to the fullest, because understand, you have to understand that you're worthy of life, and then just go and do you. I mean, what else do you want to do? I mean, just focus upon loving your life, and then you can be free.